The City of Waterloo, in cooperation with its many active and inspiring entities, presents Heart for the City, a chance to hear and see what's going on in our city and to meet people who serve you, teach you, entertain you, help you, all neighbors and like you. Make this a city on the move. And now, here's our host, the Honorable Quentin Hart.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Heart for the City. I'm Quentin Hart, proud mayor of Waterloo, and we have another terrific show lined up for you, proving that Waterloo is an interesting and active place to be. So let's begin. Did you know that Waterloo has 893 lane miles of roads within the city limits? And that is further than traveling from Rock Island, Illinois to Omaha, Nebraska on Route 80 and then back. But our roads require maintenance, markings, and signage, among other things. And with this comes the formidable need to provide accident reduction plans, vehicle congestion avoidance, try to say all of that like really quickly, and efficient travel times. But the goal is to provide efficient and effective design, installation, maintenance, operation of traffic control devices, and public education. And who is behind this Herculean effort to keep drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians moving in an efficient and safe manner? Well, stay tuned, and I think you'll find the answer fascinating. Traffic operations is responsible for traffic engineering, as well as operation and maintenance of all traffic control devices, including speed humps, traffic signs, pavement markings, street lights, and parking facilities. And they analyze, design, build, and maintain our traffic control systems and facilities, which continuously improve safety and efficiency. Waterloo has approximately 198 signalized intersections and 65,000 traffic signs. So traffic operations coordinate closely with agencies such as Black Hawk County and also the Iowa Department of Transportation. And here to tell us more about this essential and important function is Sandie Greco, who is our head of our Public Works Department. So welcome, Sandie, to Heart for the City.
Welcome. Hello.
How are you today?
Good, really good.
We have a pretty good day today, so things are calm. But just within being interim director of Public Works, traffic control, and all the myriad of different positions you've held, tell us a little bit about your experiences within the city.
Well, I started many, many years ago, and I've been through a lot of transformations, and all I can say is we are a growing city, and we have wonderful people that work for us, and we're progressing. I mean, we're not going backwards by any means.
Right. And when we talk about traffic operations department, you have staff that you work with. Tell us what your department is made out of.
Okay, we have myself and a traffic engineer, an administrative secretary. We have 3 signal technicians, 4 electricians, and 3 sign and paint operators.
And you know, I guess when I started, I heard about signal technicians or signal technician job. Tell us, like, what does that person do?
They actually install the traffic signal cabinets and controllers. They do all the signal timings. They work with cameras. We have a traffic control center in the Public Works building. They come in and they watch and monitor traffic. So we have the ability to change timing schemes while we're watching traffic. We don't have to go out on site to do it.
But if I was just driving down the street, you don't just press a button and the light would turn yellow before I get there, right?
No.
But what's interesting is to understand the science behind the timing of those lights. It's not just it's so simple where, okay, this is 30 seconds, that's a minute. All of this has to be coordinated together, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also oversee the sign and paint division. Can you
Right.
tell us about that?
We paint center lines, about 167 miles of center lines in the
Wow.
city. We have well over 100 crosswalks. We do the stop bars, we do the railroad crossings, we do parking stalls. We do all the painting and markings within the city.
So you have machines that go down the street and they take their time and they do all the painting,
Yes.
and we do all of that internally.
Yes, we do.
And also when it comes to signs, do we fabricate or do we buy our signs?
Since we have moved into the Public Works building, we have state-of-the-art equipment, and we actually fabricate about 98% of our signs now.
Wow.
So if even an outside, like the Waterloo schools, would come in and say, could you make us various signs, because we need them now, we can do that.
So it's not just within the city for traffic signs. If it's Waterloo Community Schools and other entities you're able to work with on some level to be able to make signs as well.
Yes, we do.
All right, and your department, and I'm reading here, department's role in ADA requirements and bicycle accommodations. Talk to us a little about the ADA, and then we definitely are going to talk about
The bicycles. The ADA, what we do is, since we do the crosswalks, we make sure we're all ADA compliant, and also with the traffic signals and push buttons. When it comes to biking, is a form of transportation also. So we, in turn, work with bicycle associations and work with designing and making the most possible safe biking accommodations we can.
And one of those projects was the Park Avenue project.
Right.
And what was interesting, I was in another city, and on the day that I was there, they were unveiling or doing their bicycle lanes, just same as we did it
Right.
on Park Avenue. But I really had to understand, yeah, you see lines and it moves this way, it goes that way. But when you're talking about shared use of a bike and a car, opening doors and all those things, this is really one of the safest ways to do that.
Yes, it is. It's a protected bike lane.
And so it's been great. But you're also, another thing your division is involved in, we're not even going to get through this entire list of questions I have, but another one is weather-related conditions. And what role does your department play in that?
When it comes to snow and ice, we assist the street department. We're on Public Works, so we assist them. And we also, this department takes care of all the city parking lots. That would be behind City Hall, Young Arena. We help Leisure Services with that. We do Center for the Arts. And so we're in charge of making sure that the salt and the plowing is done there. We also help with the downtown pickup when we pick up downtown.
Absolutely, huge job. Another area too are street lights.
Right.
And if there's a street light outage, how would a person contact your office or a certain number, and then we take a look to see if it's ours or if it's another, who is that,
Yes.
Mid-America
Right.
as well?
We have about 1,800 streetlights that the city owns and maintains. And we're in the process of changing over to LEDs,
Absolutely.
of course, to save on energy. Along with Mid-American Energy, they're doing that too. But if there's lights out, any of the public can call our office or get on our website,
Right.
and we'll take care of it. If it's not ours, we'll make sure Mid-American, we have contact with them every day. So.
And another area we're looking at as we close out the last minute or so is the traffic monitoring systems.
Yes.
This is going to be such a great project for the city, and I think we're going to try to work with council and make that task force so we can further support those efforts. Dubuque has a monitoring system, but we want our system to be state-of-the-art.
Right.
And there's a lot of planning that goes into that, correct?
There's a lot of planning. We've been working on this for many years. And right now we have about 30 miles of fiber that is ours that we have put in. And there's loops that we're doing, and the monitoring camera system, hopefully in the next year or so, we'll have all of downtown, have cameras at intersections, and also San Martin.
University,
University,
once we start
when that starts, that'll all have monitoring cameras along with the new Highway 63 corridor.
So the system is not made overnight. It's,
no.
it's a progress. We've been partnering with the state to decrease the overall cost because we want our streets to be safe.
Right.
And this gives us an opportunity to be able to monitor all those areas. But Sandie, you do a lot. You have a wealth of experience that you've been able to share with the city over many
years.
A few years, but I want to thank you for being here on this very busy week for you. And we know that you and the people at the street operations take great pride in helping to keep the public safe and the traffic flowing efficiently. So we'll be looking forward to new developments in the future.
Sounds good.
It is also worth noting that this department is the proud founder of the first ever self-sustaining public traffic safety awareness program designed to save lives by targeting driver behavior. It is the Drive Safe Cedar Valley program. More information can be found at the drivesafecv.com. Moving on. It was recently announced that Waterloo will receive the prestigious 2018 Audrey Nelson Community Development Achievement Award from the National Community Development Association for its innovative use of community development block grants, funding on the Grand Crossing Development Project. This award is given out yearly by the National Community Development Association, or NCDA, to recognize those projects that represent an exemplary use of community development block grant funds which address the needs of families, homes, and neighborhoods. More on this significant achievement after this. Audrey Nelson was the first Deputy Executive Secretary of the NCDA. She grew up in an inner-city Chicago neighborhood. She had an extraordinary drive and intense commitment to her neighborhood and local program efforts to serve people. She tragically succumbed to cancer at the age of 29. NCDA is proud to honor the memory of Audrey through these awards. To tell us more about this project, and that was the reason for winning the award, is Justin Bolger, the Grand Crossing developer. So welcome, Justin, to our show.
Thank you.
How are you?
It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you so much. But when we can kind of see the skyline changing downtown, and we hear this word, Grand Crossings Project. But tell us what it actually is.
So Grand Crossing is currently a two-phase project. The first phase was finished May last year, and that's the 4-story, 68-unit building that has a mixed market rate, affordable rate housing. And then phase 2 is currently under construction. We're hoping it'll open here around April 1st, and that has some commercial and retail space on the first floor, and then 3 floors of residential above it.
And you know what's amazing, just beautiful, awesome skyline change, wonderful, wonderful projects. Very aggressive too, but wonderful projects and vision. But this was a former brownfields environmental site.
Correct.
So that means there were some things that had to been to be done to this land. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, this is actually our first experience with a brownfield site. And just as you said, usually what brownfield sites are infill lots that have previously been used for industrial or commercial uses, and sometimes require some corrections to the soil due to what was previously on the site. So with this site, with the underground parking, we had to work closely with some testing agencies, the City of Waterloo and the Iowa DNR, to come up with suitable ways to test it and dispose of it properly. So with the first phase, we had to over-excavate a little bit of the soil and then bring in some new clean fill while properly disposing of the old soil.
And there was also Green Street Guidelines. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, this is one of the cooler things we think of the project. It was built with Green Streets Criteria 4.0, and so what that involves is a lot of construction, advanced construction techniques that help reduce waste, provide green supplies, low VOC, no VOC paint, and all sorts of things to make it healthier. Reduce construction waste, try to recycle while we're out there. And then it goes much farther beyond that, just with efficiency of the apartments, a much higher level standard for insulation, high efficiency appliances, low flow water fixtures to try and help reduce the amount of wasted water.
Right.
And one thing that we were really excited about is the advanced stormwater techniques that were also implemented. So one of the most notable aspects of the project is the parking lot. So that is actually 100% permeable pavers. So as it rains, the water filtrates down through that instead of running off into the sewer system. So it's kind of a natural way to capture that.
And, you know, it's always interesting to hear from a developer's perspective. You know, of course, we want to energize our downtown, but to hear from your perspectives about how this fits overall into what's taking place or that philosophy. Can you talk about that?
Sure. We just think that this project is just a great way to reinvest into the downtown area. And there's so many great things that are already going on and currently going on. And we think our project is just one piece to the puzzle, and it all has to be there to work. And so the city has done great things to set that foundation with the Cedar Valley Sportsplex, Riverloop Amphitheater, and we see as a developer just a snowball effect that as we bring residents down to this area, then we see the Hawkeye Community College urban campus, we see the new hotel, single speed brewery, and it just keeps extending out and out, and so we just see ourselves as just a piece of the puzzle that some of the great things that are already going down there from a lot of people. So.
Right, and we've seen great activities taking place over the course of the last 10, 15 years. John Deere's, I mean, multi-millions of dollars investment in that entire area where the new hotel and the tech works is at also. One of the questions that I have, this project, the Grand Crossing project, you mentioned some innovations over, you know, green practices in those areas, but what's going to be like on that bottom floor? Is there a restaurant or is there a coffee shop? What's happening also?
Right now we have Jimmy John's lined up for one of the tenants. And then we're still kind of in conversations. I think the preliminary plan is to maybe have a coffee shop there and potentially some professional use of the middle one. But it's still kind of a work in process. But we do have Jimmy John's ready to come in there.
So that's a little bit of mixed use as well.
Yep.
So, and then speaking of the word mixed, but what is market rate? Mixing. What does that mean?
So with the first phase of Grand Crossing, we have mixed rate rent in the building. So 51% of it is affordable housing, and the other 49% is market rate. And what we've kind of found is the benefit that we see that's so great with that is the educational factor. We believe that it's a perfect showcase showing how to break those just kind of preconceived notions about what is affordable housing and how it can coexist with market rate housing. So we see an incredible turnout for that building from all over the spectrum of people that are taking advantage of that affordable rent. We've seen senior citizens, we've seen all the way down to young professionals,
Right.
we see families, and we think it's just a great opportunity to show how they can coalesce at the same time,
Right,
and
right.
and it's just a perfect mix of that.
And the response to filling up the buildings and stuff, that's been
Response has been phenomenal. We've already been 100% occupied on the first phase. There's actually a waiting list to get into some of those affordable units, and we've already started to field applicants for phase 2. So,
And that's in April, right?
In April, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And really quickly, so Rudy Jones right now is accepting an award in Washington, D.C. for the NCDA, which is a huge, huge deal for the city for this project. There was also another one, was it in Des Moines or Cedar Rapids?
Yep, Cedar Rapids. Yep.
And received that as well for the entire concept.
Correct. We were fortunate enough, Rudy and his team submitted us for the 2017 Housing in Iowa multifamily affordable housing, and so we were fortunate enough to win that. And as you touch on Rudy, we can't say enough how
Right.
thankful we are for that partnership. This project doesn't work, it doesn't go without the help from you and your office, planning and zoning with Noel Anderson, and especially Rudy Jones.
Right.
He's been an integral partnership to this, and it just wouldn't work without him. So we're honored.
A great show of public-private partnerships,
Absolutely.
moving the community forward together. So,
Absolutely.
Thanks to you, Justin, and all those involved in this exciting project. It is certainly a collaboration of parties, local, state, and federal, that worked hard to see this project get traction and momentum. We hope you'll return in the future with more updates on this and other significant projects, and projects that are one of the many altering our city skyline. So thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
There is very good news for Waterloo. Our police department is reporting that we experienced fewer serious crimes in 2017 than it did in the previous year. But following a 3-year trend, this is the lowest crime rate the city has had in decades. And Chief Dan Trelka has said, and I quote, "We are going to further refine our strategies for 2018 to further effectively deal with the small group of individuals who are committing our most violent crimes," unquote. But not all crime has been eliminated, and the local recording company has taken on the challenge to encourage people to pause before acting spontaneously without control of emotional anger. And more on this creative and innovative video project after this.
The long-term impact of decisions made in the heat of the moment to pull a trigger, grab a knife, or other weapons will change the course of your life forever. That one decision will have a lasting impact on the lives of everyone involved, from family to family, to your friends, to neighbors, and to the entire community. When situations are going down, pause.
The owners of Technicians Music Group, or TMG Services, creators of Project Pause, claim that for them, this hits home. Christian Slayton, Marc Nalls, and Joshua Mitchell are all here today. And their hope is that by sharing the video at local schools and youth programs, it will create discussions in the community. And here to tell us more about this program are all of they. So I'd like to welcome you all here this afternoon. So how are you?
Doing fine.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good. We are formal. No, but really just tell us about TMG, or Technicians Music Group. Tell us about, how did you get into music and video production?
Well,
Yeah.
a few years back, Christian and myself had kind of joined forces as far as beat production and whatnot, and working with a lot of different artists around the area, providing them studio time, graphic design work, web design work, and kind of just started off as a general artist service. And then eventually all collaborated on a few projects and came up with TMG services so we can expand where our client base is. Instead of just artists, we also work with different foundations, different businesses, etc. so we can provide these same quality services to different people.
You know, one of the things a couple years ago, we were having a conversation, and it stuck with me ever since then. I think we were looking at a national video or something like that, and I was like, wow. And you said that when you put out something, your company puts out something, it will be something that will be able to stand up on any level.
Absolutely.
So that is something that always stuck with the quality of the work that you do as well. But you have become like a one-stop shop for everything in that area.
Right.
New location too, right?
Yes, absolutely. we are downtown now, 819 Sycamore. So we definitely came a long way from the basement and garage.
Right. Humble beginnings. But what's great also, because you mentioned local artists, we have some incredible talent here locally. And rarely are we able to shine a spotlight on them so that we can take them to national audiences. Can you tell us about how you've been able to develop local talent as well?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, we really like to sit down and work with each individual artist. We sit at the beginning of our office, and sit down and have a game plan, an actual plan of start to finish. So that way we know what the end outcome will be, and then the artist will know what the end outcome will be. And if everyone is to agreement with that, we start the process. Right. So it's somewhat challenging, contingent on what artists we work with, but it's what we love to do. Right. And as long as the artists love what they're doing, it's no problems. We will excel in everything that we do.
And it's interesting because you hear if you fail to plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Exactly.
So you help from start to finish, so they know exactly what they're getting. They know the markets they want to reach. I mean, you've done it for me, done it for me too, and that's absolutely important. The Project Pause. Tell us a little bit about that whole concept and how that came to be.
Well, the Project Pause concept, actually, I came up with the name. I don't mean to flex a little bit because, I kind of went off of, I have two kids, Danny and Joshua, and there's a slang term where everyone uses the word pause to hey, stop, think before you act. And I think it was a very good connection with this, thus Project Pause, and just thinking of young people just thinking before they act, because most of us go off of emotion. Most of us, our reactions are emotional, and we think about it later on, man, I messed up, or man, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have done this. So Project Pause kind of stemmed out of that, just off of thinking before you act.
You could add that to some of the emails I get ready to send. I'm like, pause, don't send that email.
Definitely.
It's definitely a lifestyle.
Yes.
But you mentioned young people as well, and who is the project focused on? Who is in mind with the concept?
Well, the concept is mainly for everyone, but right now, our youth. I would say, from middle schoolers to high schoolers, because I believe that that's a detrimental time for young people, period, male and female. And sometimes they need to, just express how they feel, and we need to focus on them more. So it focuses on them.
And we had conversations of not just dealing with some of the gun violence, but how can we deal with bullying in the schools, domestic violence? We all need to hit the reset button sometimes and think before we actually react, just as you said. But with this particular project, what's so interesting? Tell us about some of the participants with this project.
Well, some of the participants, we sat with Sheriff Tony Thompson, who happens to be my former video production instructor, which when we brought this to him, and also the chief of police, when we brought this to them, the meeting just went fluid because they understood what we were trying to do, and they were all for it. Like the support that we received for this project, you know, it did take a month to make because of various locations and scheduling. Everyone was just all for it because they believe in what Waterloo can be.
So you had actual police, you had actual actors. I think you had William K.
Yes.
William K. in there as
William
well.
was our judge. He was our judge.
Awesome
And you also had a young man that was like the main actor in the story.
Yes. Hyphy.
He may have an acting career. I know he has music, but he may have an acting career too.
Amazing.
And you reached how many people through this? What was the last count?
I think it was at 30,000.
30,000.
30,000
Continuously
views
growing, yes.
and various shares on Facebook. Yes.
I believe over 700 shares on Facebook.
Oh wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's when you look on there and see 30K.
Yes.
Yes. But you know, I want to compliment you all for being able to use the digital arts to be able to reach and impact the lives of people, to get that message. And it's a heartfelt video though. This was something that had heart and soul into it as well. And that's why so many people are touched, you know, but when we think about it, then we can kind of take a look at our actions and make the right moves in those situations. But if somebody wants to get it, where would they go to?
I mean, they can go to 819 Sycamore.
Yes.
Well, digitally, to find the film, you can go on Facebook.com/TheTechnicians, or you can visit TMGServicesLLC.com, and you can get all our social media links on there.
Yes.
So once again, any aspiring artists as well that want to do some work as
Definitely.
well and go through the process. You go where again?
TMG Services.
TMG Services, everything.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if we have a Twitter yet.
Yes, we have Twitter.
We have Twitter. There we
Definitely
go.
have
All
Twitter.
right.
And we hopefully we continue this process with Project Pause to do other topics.
Yeah.
You know, what we're looking for is more participation, more funding, all those type of things, so we can continue to reach the masses for adolescents and adults alike.
So it's not a move, it's a movement.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what we
Yes.
want to do, move the spirits and the minds of folks to make better decisions and
Definitely.
put their actions in front of them
Yes.
as well. So, you know, I want to thank you, Joshua Mitchell. I want to thank you, Marc Nalls. I want to thank you, Christian Slayton as well, owners of TMG Services, and all the many other people who participated and committed to this project work. It's a big step in pointing out the need to pause and to think of the consequences, not only to yourself, but to your family, friends, and community as well. But using violence to resolve conflict, we all know that's a lose-lose situation for everyone. So we look forward to future productions as they are developed, and your group makes it look easy, but I know video production and music production is hard work. But be sure to watch the full Project Pause video on the Technicians Facebook page. So don't go away, we'll be right back.
A great college education is all about the connections you make, connecting with classmates with new ideas and with new technology. At Hawkeye Community College, you're more than just a student. You're part of a small community, learning the skills and teamwork you'll need to succeed in your chosen career. You've always dreamed of a better career, a higher salary, and a better life. The connections you make at Hawkeye can bring those dreams into focus. Hawkeye Community College. Connect.
Well, that's our show. At the beginning of the show, I mentioned some outstanding venues that citizens of all ages should visit, and more than once. But a great reference for entertainment, shopping, eating, sporting events, and other activities can be found on the Waterloo Tourism and Visitors Bureau award-winning website, travelwaterloo.com. And it's for everyone, not just visitors. And remember to tell others that the Heart of the City episodes are available for viewing on the City of Waterloo's homepage, cityofwaterlooiowa.com. And also, be sure to look for Heart for the City on Facebook. But please join us next time, and thanks for watching Heart for the City. Until then, I think you will agree, it's a great day to be in Waterloo.